I don't know what happened. Could you guys hear me clicking buttons? I don't know what happened. I really don't. Hi, can you hear me and can you see me? What I always say when I come on, it seems like. Oh, Lord have mercy. One of these days I'll get this shit straight. I know Panda was here earlier. Hello to Panda and to Michael. I hope you guys are well. And then Lorraine is here. Joan is here. Who else? There was somebody else. Really? Are we that close? That's crazy. 9 days away from springing forward. Lorraine, Leanie. Hi, Lorna. Good evening. Mary Webb is here. Ooh, hey, Mary. You made it. There's Tank. She's like, hello. Hello. I'm here. I'm here. Really, I'm here. That's right. Danny Benini's here. Jennifer, hello to you. I don't know who else was here before we started, is what I was trying to get at. Hi, Sharon. Yep, everything was frozen. Those that don't know, the screen was frozen for a minute there. Sure were. And I'm on. Okay, Jennifer says can hear and see you. Denny says she didn't do it. Hey, Kathy. Kathy's here. How's it going? All is good. Okay. Wow. Cindy. Closing a window and grabbing a, oh, starting to chill off outside, huh? And grabbing a snack. All right. Good idea. What is everybody drinking tonight? And what is everybody working on? Hello, Joyce. Hello, my friend. Ooh, I think I made it to the bottom. Look at me whipping through them. I'm whipping. I'm whipping on a whip and I'm whipping through the chat. I just made myself something fabulous. I'm in the Texas Chip Cup tonight. Can you see the fabulousness? It's fabulous. Oh, I don't know if you see it. You can't really see it too good, can you? That's cinnamon on top and some froth. We're frothy today. Mm. This one is community coffee, French vanilla mixed with the Aldi caramel macchiato as my brew. That's my brew with my half and half. And then I put some, my froth kind of disappeared, but then I had a dash of hazelnut and some cinnamon. Yeah, why not? Joan's got water and tea. You sent you a pic of me a pic of what you're working on lately. That is an awesome thing. Thank you, Joyce. Thank you, Joan. I am feeling better, but obviously my words aren't coming out too good. Peach sparkling water. Ah, vanilla chai. Oh, I love chai. My daughter Chelsea drinks chai um, brew. I know you've had the winter that we haven't had, Kathy. Working on a hat for Operation Gratitude. Oh, where do you send? Do you have a direct address for that, or do you send it to someone who sends it to them, Joyce? That's a question a lot of us have to do them because that is for the vets, correct? Oh, mm, it's good. Was really good. If I do say so myself. Still have the sniffles. I am feeling better today, but I still have all that stuff going on. What did I do? What did I do? Gotta make sure I have my Kleenexes standby. We have cedar fever, evidently, is what's going on. Oh, that's absolutely beautiful. The one you're making is just so beautiful. She truly is a knitting artisan. She truly is, you guys, because that mitt that she is making is just gorgeous. Tank is working on a winter blanket. Awesome. I don't know if I missed anybody, I don't mean to. For those of you who are tuning in and lurking, I see you and I thank you for being here as well. I saw you got some stuff. You got some stuff, right, Tank, to make some cards and stuff with, some artsy fartsy stuff. That's awesome. I saw a picture somewhere. I don't even know where it was. I don't know. I don't know where I see things anymore. I do see them though. Good evening. Good evening, butterfly. Oh, that sounds good. Oh, you and my Solomon. Solomon likes his pineapple juice, and he also likes it with cranberry grape mixed together. He likes a suicide. That's one of his favorite drinks. Mix it all together. And whatever's in that bottom of the refrigerator, put it all in there together. Just the juice though. Not the fuzzy stuff, not the bubbly stuff. Hello, Debbie. Good evening. Hello, Mimi. Good to see you all coming in. Today we're going to do the conclusion of what happened in apartment 5. No, we're not. What happened in apartment 4C? Vanessa? Did I miss a Vanessa somewhere? I don't see her. Vanessa, if I missed you, hello. There's Annie. Hello, Annie. And there's Panda. There's Tina. Hey, Tina. Haven't seen my Canadian friend Tina for a while. Good to see you. Tina Socks and Annie's Alice has been coming by too. She was here. Was that yesterday? I think. So I'm going to, okay, yes, Operation Gratitude is for service members and now first responders, and your church group drive makes. Okay, awesome. Good evening, Ellen. How are you? Happy Friday. I watched part of your video today. I know you got some goodies from Nitpicks. I saw part of it. We had lots of activity here today. Cerberus had a visitor. Cerberus had a visitor today, and he talked to him. Let me explain. We had someone out, as you know, Mr. Fiber has been selling cars, and we've been doing some stuff, right? Well, we had somebody here, and we showed them around the house, and we showed them. We came all the way out to the she shed. And Cerberus was over there in his bed, and he says, "Oh," we were telling him, that he's my mascot and all this stuff, and they said, "Well," he looks at him and goes, "Oh, so you are famous online, huh?" And Cerberus goes, "Oh." It was perfect. Absolutely perfect. It was so funny. It was so funny. No skunks today. At least so far. I haven't had one since the flyby with my car. Oh my goodness. It was perfect timing. Hello, Tamra. Good to see you. The lights are blinking. Anyway, he said he likes true crime also, so you might check in and say hello. It was cute. All right, I am going to bring in my hands. I'm going to get my notes together. Now, I'll do a little bit of background for last week for those of you who did not see last week's podcast. Doop. That back over here. Yeah, did I say hi, Lorna? I hope I did. I don't remember if I did. No, I didn't get it on tape. How lucky. Oh, I'm so happy for you, Tamra. You deserve that, girl. You deserve that. I'm so happy about that. Oh, that's okay. I didn't even notice it. That is so fun. Yes, please do that. Did Shad come in? Hello, Shad. If you came in. Okay, now we're going to bring in my hands and I will show y'all down here what I'm working on. I'm still working on this one. This is what I'm going to work on for Fridays until I get this one done. And I have my yarn in my little bag from Knit for Brains. This is how much I have left. The yarn is Bag O' Day. It was dyed by Evelyn, her daughter Evelyn Rose. All right. Hello, Darth Mom. Good evening to you. Glad you're here. So, when I left off last week, we knew that they had found Joey's clothing. Now, Joey's girlfriend said, and I want to start with this. She said, when you were with Joey, you felt like you could fly. So we're talking about Joey Cominali. He went missing November 12th of 2016. And we know that it was 3:30 that night where Joey and his friends had been at the Gilded Lily downtown in the Meat District in Manhattan in New York. Hello, Hope. Around that time, everyone was exiting the Gilded Lily. We know that Joey had his phone with him. We know that he gave it to his friend Stephen, who used it to call someone, and he stepped away from Joey so that he could make a phone call. Joey, when he stepped away, there was a crowd gathering around Joey. Joey was everyone's best friend and always was talking to people. There were 3 girls standing next to him, and Joey was giving Stephen the eye, like, look who I see. And then there were 2 guys that stepped up and started talking to them. And Stephen did not recognize the girls. He did not recognize the two guys. But when he came back to the group, they had gotten into a cab and they had left. And that was the last any of his friends saw him. Yes, I have some of that too, Tina. It will be coming up and featured here on the channel soon. Hello, Maribel. So we know that the two guys and the three girls were talking about a party that was going to be in the ritzy part of New York at a place called the Grand Sutton in Sutton Place. Now, if you want to know who some of these people are, you may have to go back and listen to the first part. But we have Larry DeLeon, James Rackover, and Max Gemma. And I don't have the names of the three girls. They're not particularly important, except that that's the reason, really, we think that Joey followed these guys to go to this ritzy apartment on the fourth floor for a party, and that one of the guys, at least, had some bit of fame because his father was a jeweler to the stars. 14 hours after Joey walked back into this building with Larry DeLeon, cameras captured James Rackover, who is leaving in his father's Mercedes. Now, this Mercedes and his father is Jeremy Rackover, and he is the jeweler. The CCTV and license plate readers track some of the movements of this vehicle as it travels around New York City, through the Holland Tunnel, and over to Jersey City. And police were unable to pinpoint exactly where the car finally stopped moving. Larry DeLeon's story is that there was drinking, there was cocaine, and that he and James Rackover had a little competition doing lap dances for these three girls at the party. One of the girls actually had taken a little bit of camera footage on her phone. But Larry said that after these girls had left and they came back in the building, that he had words with Joey. And that it was because Joey had goaded him about just something simple, just some little thing about, well, yeah, what are you doing? Who are you? Kind of thing. And he hit him. And then Joey went down on the ground and he hit him some more. And at that time, the third guy, Max Gemma, was sleeping on the couch. So he was not a part of the argument. James Rackover came in as they were duking it out, and he jumped in with his self-proclaimed boxing skills and proceeded to wail on Joey while he was down. They said that Max woke up and they asked him to leave. And there actually is footage of Max going out the building. The CCTV has him leaving the building. And about that time that he left the apartment, James Rackover started stabbing Joey. And he stabs him enough times that he succumbs to the stabbings, and he passes from being beat and stabbed. And they swear that Max played no part in any of it. They swear by it. The at least Larry's story is that Max played no part at all in what happened. He says that Larry says that James drugged Joey to the bathroom and tried to dismember him, but couldn't. And then they proceed to clean up the apartment. When they realize that they could not do that, they start cleaning up the apartment. While they're cleaning the apartment, they order food because, by now they're hungry, right? So they order food and they're getting phone calls. They're getting phone calls from Joey's friends looking for Joey. They're getting phone calls from Joey's dad. Joey's laying dead in this apartment. They're cleaning the apartment, and his dad is calling and talking to them, and they are acting as if nothing happened. Nope, don't know where he is. Don't know he left with those girls, blah, blah, blah. Don't know nothing. Larry says that James Rackover pulls the Mercedes around the back of the building or to the side of the building. I'm unclear as to which side of the building it actually was. Larry pushes Joey, who's now wrapped in a comforter, over to the window. And when Rackover brings the Mercedes back and backs it over to the street, Larry pushes Joey out the window of the 4th floor and onto the concrete. And there's like an area there with a whole bunch of bushes, and that nobody saw this. Now, of course, this is the middle of the night, and this is a very upscale part of town. But it is caught on camera where the car gets backed in, and then there's Larry coming down, and they grab the comforter and they put it in the back of the car and they drive off, and that is caught on camera. And according to Larry, they transport Joey to a field behind a florist shop in Oceanport. Now, if you were with me last week, we know that Larry DeLeon is from Oceanport, New Jersey, and has ties to over there. So he knows this area really well. And this is about an hour from Manhattan, from the apartment. They dig about a foot down, so they don't really even dig they don't even really dig him a grave. They just dig about a foot down. And they put him in there in the comforter, and James throws gasoline on him and lights him on fire. And because of this confession by Larry, The police are able to go exactly to the place where Larry says they put Joey, and they find Joey and they call his dad. And his dad says he knew exactly. He knew right away whenever he got that phone call. He said, I knew it. I just knew it. Larry and James are both arrested. Now, Max Gemma is arrested later, but he's not arrested right away because at first when all of this started, they did not have anything to arrest Max Gemma for. And they are charged with second-degree murder. And I thought, okay, wait, second-degree murder? Why would it be second-degree murder? Why isn't it first-degree murder? Because actually, in a lot of states, for first-degree murder, they have to prove that they intended, that there was some sort of an intent to kill him. They would have brought him there they were going to kill him from the very get-go. And they did not have that. They had something that was more like a crime of passion. Something happened, and this happened, blah, blah, blah. And that is more along the lines of second degree. That's not the legal words for it, but kind of what happens. Max Gemma was arrested later and was charged with hindering an investigation and tampering with evidence. I don't know why the tampering with evidence, because that was not brought up in this episode, and I was not able to find the reason for the tampering. I would have had to have gotten the court documents, which is not something I was able to do. So there's that. DeLeon challenged his confession. See, they all pled not guilty. DeLeon challenged his confession, saying that he had asked for his lawyer. And he really didn't ask for his lawyer. He just talked about the fact that he says, well, I do have a lawyer. But he didn't actually ask for the lawyer. But he challenged his confession, saying that he mentioned his lawyer and they should not have asked him questions. Now, James Rackover is formerly known as James Baudon. And this is Beaudouin. Almost like Boudin, but they call him Baudon. Is an ex-con. Go figure. From Florida. So, Florida man. My chat is not moving. I don't know. Oh, there we go. Hello, Melissa. Good evening to you. Good evening. We'll have to go over that Florida man thing again. Y'all have asked me about it. It's a whole thing. It's just a whole thing. He spent almost 2 years for aggravated burglary. He moved to New York. Of course he did. Yeah, new life. I moved to New York, right? From Florida to New York. And he met Jeffrey Rackover, this jeweler to the stars, at a gym. At a gym. When asked about James Rackover, Jeffrey Rackover says, a young man appeared at my door one day and said, you don't know me, but I'm your son. That was his interpretation of what happened. Most everyone involved in the case and a lot of Jeffrey Rackover's acquaintances investigators, everyone basically a- alleged that there was a sexual relationship between Jeffrey Rackover and James. However, he denies that in every way and said he decided to take him in, and then they lied on the paperwork. He said he was his biological son. James said that he was his biological son. They both lied on the paperwork, and he adopted him and moved him into his apartment. And then later on, once he graduated and all of those things, he got him his own apartment, which was apartment 4C. Now, initially, the jeweler paid for James's defense. He said James didn't commit the murder. He only covered it up. And that Larry killed Joey. James's trial is first of the three. His is first. Jeffrey is not at the trial. Even though he initially started to pay for it, he is not there. All of Joey's friends and family are there. Joey's dad is the first on the stand to testify. How hard. I've not seen any of the coverage, if there was any. I have seen there are some that they had a artist in the courtroom, and there are some images of the father on the stand, but I didn't see any coverage of it. But how heartbreaking. Just watching this show, my heart just tears for him. Rackover's attorneys say Larry was the one with the knife, that he was waving it around and doing coke off of the knife. And this is information that came in according to the two girls who testified for the prosecution. So two of the three girls actually came in and testified, and they talked about what happened at the party and all of those things before they left, because they did leave and they were not present when this happened. But the defense used their testimony to say that it was Larry because he was the one who had the knife. They said that James would not have wanted Jeffrey to know what happened in the apartment, that he would lose everything if Jeffrey found out what had happened, and that's why he worked so hard to cover up. He did not want the body to be found in the apartment. And there wasn't, in the midst of this trial, up to this point, there really was not really strong evidence showing that James was the one who actually killed Joey. They didn't really have 100% proof of that. Wasn't really strong, and not enough to really convince the jury. However, at the last minute, the prosecution brought in Louis Ruggiero. Now, Louis is a friend of James, okay? And is the son of Fox 5 Morning News Rosanna Scotto. And I can't help it, y'all. Louie and Rosanna Ranadana. That's what came to mind when I was actually watching this. Why those things come to mind when you're watching stuff? I don't know. Hey, Lexi, Headache Terry, Annie, Connie. Good to see you all. Oh, you should not have gotten an ad because I cut out the mid ads. Just get right on past it. We don't care. So morning news, Fox 5 morning news person Rose Aniscato, who evidently was a big deal in New York. And she was friends with none other than Jeffrey Rackover, the jeweler. Louis says that James called him and told him that this is exactly what he tells him that he told him. He said that Larry and Joey were fighting, that James told him, he said, I jumped in. He said, I didn't want a dead body in my apartment, so I slit his throat. I put him in a comforter and I threw him out the window. I drove him 60 miles and then I bleached the apartment. That's what he said. And that was actually the first time that the family heard what happened to Joey. And it was evidently a huge shock to everyone who was in the courtroom. The defense said that he's lying, that James didn't tell him that because he didn't have his story straight. They claim that on the autopsy report, there is no evidence of lacerations to Joey's neck area. And they bring in Larry's ring. Larry had a big gold ring with what it was one of those that had like a square top, and in one corner of it, it had a huge dent in the side of the ring. And they said that proves that he's the one that hit and killed Joey. That's their proof, was the ring. They also claim, and they're correct, that Louis, I'm calling him Louis, it's Louis, was heavy drug user at the time that all of this happened. And it's possible that he didn't get his story straight because of being all of that. The defense also plays a video where James leaves the apartment 4C and goes to Jeffrey's apartment, and he walks around the bed and he walks around the and he's gone for about 4 minutes. And they claim that that's when Larry killed Joey. That it could not have been James, that it happened, and that when James came back in, he decided he didn't want all of this and that he was going to clean up. They were just going to clean up and get rid of him so that nobody would know. Prosecutor said the reason that James went to Jeffrey's apartment was to look for more cocaine. And that when he came back and he didn't have more cocaine, something was said and he popped off. Most likely, that is what happened. So the jury reaches a verdict on the 2nd of November of 2018 is when the trial took place. And the jury, after 5 hours, reaches a verdict of guilty on all counts. James receives 28 plus 2/3 years to life, which is the maximum sentence. Then Larry DeLeon pleads guilty. He doesn't go to trial. He pleads guilty. And he pleads to manslaughter. So he makes a deal. He pleads to manslaughter and he gets 23 years. Max Gemma receives 6 months for hindering an investigation and tampering with evidence. The jeweler moved out of the Grand Sutton and cut off all ties with James Rackover. Joey's friends all got tattoos with the number 9 because that was the number that Joey wore when he played sports. And his father got the biggest tattoo on his arm, and it's Joey. And if you see the thumbnail on the 48 Hours episode, that is the picture that he got on his arm with a whole bunch of, other things around it, the number 9 and just some other things. So that is that one. Very New York, I think. Mona's not here tonight. Or did she come in? She's from New York. His dad's tat it looks just like him. It really does. It is beautiful. Looks just like him. Okay, so now I can pull the next state for next week. Oh, I dropped one. Come here. Okay. Now, I have New York right here, okay? I have New York right here. We're not going to put it in right now. We're going to pull from here first. And we're going to see what the next one is going to be. Oh, interesting. We're staying on the East Coast. It's New Hampshire. New Hampshire. Now I'm going to put New York back in. Drum roll, please. Yep. So I will see if I can find a 48 Hours episode that deals with Does anybody know one right off the bat? Yep, New England, New Hampshire. Like I said, we're staying on the East Coast with this one. Sneaky killers. Reaching in and finding the end first thing. Yes. You're winning, Annie. You're winning. That's true. It does. There is an awful lot. Let me look up. Oh, Joan sent me. You said you sent me an email. working on Christmas stuff. Oh, that looks like, is that rave yarn? Kind of looks like rave yarn. There's one hat. There's two of them. You see them side by side there. Yeah, but that messes. It messes with my light. Ooh, look at that. What is the? Oh, there's a dishcloth. Ooh, she's got a bunch of dishcloths, you guys. Look at that. She's been working on dishcloths. That's fantastic. That's a nice stash of dishcloths. Very nice. I have had some other people send me. This will go in with entries. If you have not sent me what you're working on to have an entry to win my Addies, this is Jennifer. Hobby Lobby sent from someone. Oh. Shad says, any better, you'd be in trouble. I like it. I like it, Shad. This one is from Leanie. A 12-point star blanket. Oh, that's pretty. I still want to do some of those. Mimi Tammy sent me. Come on. This is her to-go project. It looks like blanket yarn. And then, oop, something from LJ. Oh, come on, where is it? Can't see the picture. There we go. Here's the ones from LJ. We have the purple one. So pretty. It's an ombre. And then this one that looks, is that the Suzette or the Primrose? She likes to do. You can send multiple, but be sure to tell me what they are if you don't mind. Mimi said that's a dark blue chenille for the night sky. Yes, I will see if I can't get them all together. We will go over all of this, I promise. I have more. I have some from Bree. This one is Bree. This is Lori. She's doing a baby blanket, and she actually sent me, I think she finished it. Yes. Lori from Lori Stories and Crochet. That is an up close of her stitch work. And then, come on, it's just not letting me see these for some reason. I don't know why it's not opening. It's just not opening them. Yeah, see, it's not opening. We'll get there. We'll get there. Hey, Scrimshaw, good to see you. I'll get them all from my computer. It'll be easier to show you guys once I get them all together. And And then I will be pulling comments from each of my videos, and then those names and the names that go with each of the projects, all of those entries, and all of those will go into a pot. So it may take me a day or two. Tomorrow is the 28th, which is the last day. So it may take me a few days getting into March before I pull a winner. But be patient, it is coming. If you send a picture of what you're working on to my email, it will be an entry to win my Addy knitting machines. You can also make comments on all of my videos, 1 comment per video, no duplicates. Oh. Okay. Has anyone been watching the Corey Richens trial? And your thoughts? Do y'all have thoughts about the Corey Richens trial? Anyone? And then I see that there is a new video come out in the Nancy Guthrie disappearance. And Denny, tell me, what happened with the Colin Gray? Has the Colin Gray trial gone into, has it gone to the jury yet? Have they finished? I don't know where it's at right now. Sure, Mimi. Whatever you're working on doesn't have to be finished. Hope's been watching Del Warner. I want to go back and watch that one. I know that Chris McDonough from the interview room helped on the Del Warner case, and so he has not been speaking of the trial. So I need to go back and take a look at that one too. Oh, Colin testified? Wow. Oh my goodness. Did he help himself at all? Did he help himself at all with his testimony? What do you think? So if you don't know, Colin Gray is the father of Colton Gray, who was the school shooter at the, I don't know if I'm going to say this right, is it the Tallahatchie school? And he's on trial for having given his son access to the gun that he used to commit the shooting. Ooh, you're right. Joan is right. She says she can make the faces. We see the going on with Corey Richens. She can make those faces. And I tell you, the house cleaner, she took a beating today and yesterday. I still have not watched all of her testimony, but I got the gist. Yes, it was. The thing was, unfortunately, that did not help him any. Yeah, I was telling the defense attorney for Corey Richens was doing a real good job of confusing everyone. And I think that was part of her point. Okay, Tank, thank you. Thank you. Yeah, the housekeeper supplied the drugs Does anyone feel, well, we don't have the cell phone testimony yet. However, I feel that with what we have right now, that we've been told right now, if they back that up with the cell phone data, and then you add the letter that Corey Richards wrote while she was in jail, she's cooked. That's how I see it. Anybody else? Yes. Yes. I mean, I guess that's what you do when you're looking for drugs. You ask somebody who you know used them. But bless her heart, she was in a drug program when she asked her. That's a shitty thing to do. That's just a shitty thing to do anyway. Yeah, the judge said, okay, that's it. And I saw that they went outside of the jury to do some stuff this afternoon. Am I right? That's where the screen was when I left off with that today. They were doing stuff outside of the jury, outside of the camera presence. Yeah. Is there anything I'm not, like, y'all want to talk about it now? What is the other one? So today, well, from what I understand, talking about Nancy Guthrie, my understanding is that there's a video of a car from about 2 miles away from Nancy's house that is seen going across the Ring camera, and that this coincided with the exact time, right in there, when Nancy's pacemaker stopped communicating with her phone and her watch at the house. And that is about 7 minutes in drive time. So if you look on your Google and it says how far to get there, it's 7 minutes. And it was, and I wrote this down, Nancy's pacemaker stopped communicating at 2:28, and the vehicle went in front of the camera at 2:36. Okay, so that's why. I hope he did. I hope he did. He's no nonsense. He no nonsense. I saw that someone had to be removed because they were drawing the jurors, is what I saw. A little news thing that said someone was drawing the jurors and had to be removed from court. Yes. Bless her heart. I know. It's a bad thing, but I think it may be a while before we learn the answers for that. I hope I'm wrong. Yeah, so it would be 7 minutes to drive the 2.5 miles going around to get to the point where the vehicle was seen, which would mean that the two things coincided. Because if you were going at the correct speed, there is that, Joan, if they were going at the correct speed. Now, they looked like they were traveling a little faster. than what would normally happen at night in this neighborhood. So there'd be some argument to that, right? Okay, y'all, I'm tired. I'm tired, I'm tired, I'm tired. I get to try to find something for New Hampshire. New Hampshire for next week. If anyone has suggestions, you can email me as well. Oh my goodness. Oh, I bet it is. Are you talking for Corey Richens? Okay, can I just say there've been some very interesting people in the gallery, whatever they call it, right? Very interesting people behind the lawyers. There was one girl was doing this. I'm like, is she picking nits? What is she doing? That was very distracting. It was right behind Corey Richens. And then today we had a lot of Botox girls. Just saying. Just lots of Botox girls back there. There's been some very, very interesting people in that gallery. But they all seem very glued to what's happening. Very glued. Good night, Marbell. Yeah, all of that will happen, but we would have to wait for a trial or that stuff. Oh, court TV, naughty naughty. Yeah, those feeds are supposed to be. That's why a lot of them delay them, so that they can be updated if something happens. It's all right, Lori. Okay, what is she? What you? What? I know. It was very distracting. That, well, that's what she was doing. That. She did better the next day. She was farther back in the gallery and she did a little bit better. I wonder if she had at some point had seen herself on TV and that it had upset her. It could have been very debilitating. I understand that, but it was very distracting. I'm like, what is she doing? Okay, I'm going. I love y'all. I hope you have a great weekend. Tomorrow is Walmart with Dad. And then, yeah, I got a lot of groceries to get tomorrow. I will be very tired when I get back because I have not grocery shopped in 2 weeks. So I got a lot to put away and to do tomorrow. So I probably will not feel like being on. So I will see you when I see you. Y'all have a wonderful weekend. Have fun today. Bye, everybody.